inside stars. Stars start off containing helium and hydrogen. Hydrogen, one proton, helium, 2 protons and 2 neutrons. Trouble is that it's very difficult to see how it's going to work. You see, proton plus PN, that gives you lithium-5, but that's unstable. PN plus PN gives beryllium-8, which is also unstable. Go back to this diagram here. What we're trying to do is to put together hydrogen and helium to make something. And lithium doesn't work, lithium-5 is green, and beryllium-8 is green. We want to get up to carbon-12. How do we get there? Well, suppose that 2 PNs hit. That's making beryllium-8, but it's about to fall apart. But just before it falls apart, another one hits it. And that makes carbon. Woohoo! Except that, when you work it out, it's far too slow. It doesn't happen often enough. And therefore, in the history of the lifetime of a star, you wouldn't get much carbon made. Unless there was some special fluke factor called a resonance. Certain nuclei, they have an excited state, and if the excited state has just the right energy, you can bump up the reaction rate by 100,000, a huge factor. Now, Fred Hoyle, of blessed memory, was doing these calculations, and he said, well, if the carbon nucleus had an excited state with an energy of 7.7 million electron volts, then there'd be a resonance, and then it would work. And the people who were experts said, ooh, don't believe that. But he managed to persuade them to do the experiment, and they went and looked for it, and blow me, it's bang on. And it seems such a fluke. This energy, 7.7 MeV, is a complicated consequence of the masses of the particles and the strength of the forces and so on. Very hard to predict, and it's just bang on to within 1%. And Fred Hoyle is on record as saying, nothing has shaken my atheism so much as this discovery. There seems to be everything interesting in the universe, all the elements more interesting than helium, depend on this total fluke, apparently, this coincidence about the masses and forces of particles. Now, I've given you these 3 examples. There are quite a lot more examples of this sort of thing. Depending on the masses of the particles, the strength of the forces, including gravity, they have to be pretty close to what they actually are for everything to work properly and for life to be possible. But we have no fundamental theory that explains why these things have their value. It seems to be a total fluke. Go back to these quotations. As we look into the universe, identify the many accidents, because they seem to be accidents, of physics and astronomy that have worked together for our benefit, it almost seems as if the universe must in some sense have known that we were coming. Fred Hoyle, I don't believe that any scientist who examined the evidence would fail to draw the inference that the laws of nuclear physics have been deliberately designed with regard to the consequences they produce inside the stars. And then Leonard Susskind, why is it that the universe has all the appearances of having been specially designed so that life forms like us can exist? For him, it's an embarrassment. Now, this is only talk 1. So this is a provisional comment at this stage. The laws of physics do not appear to be accidental. They appear to be remarkably fine-tuned to make life possible. Now, for a Christian, this isn't a huge surprise. On the one hand, we believe in a wise creator who not only created but sustains everything, who is the basic reason why everything makes sense. In other words, Christians believe that the fact that the universe behaves in a rational and orderly and reliable way is because it depends on God and his creation and whatnot, which is what I think makes science possible. If you believe that the universe makes sense, then even if it looks terribly random, you've got the sort of motivation to try and find out how it works and so on. So on the one hand, Christians believe that there is a wise creator behind it all. And secondly, Christians believe that he always had life in mind, that while life may appear to have been an accident, we don't think it was an accident, that God actually intended us to be here. So, I say, for a Christian, it is not a huge surprise, which is where I stop for this evening.